Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to expose the hidden economics of service businesses and show you exactly how to take absolute control of your pricing. If you run a service route or maybe manage a small crew, you already know that just keeping busy is definitely not the same as actually turning a profit. So today, we're diving straight into why your dollars per man hour is literally the only metric that matters for your bottom line, and how tracking it will completely transform your operation. Okay, let's just get right into it with a really simple question. But honestly, it's one that trips up even the most seasoned operators. Did your last job actually make money? Think about it. Most folks out there are pricing completely by gut instinct, maybe pricing by the square foot, or just kind of guessing based on what the last guy charged. They hustle all day long, but they never truly know if they hit their profit target until the end of the month when they finally check the bank account. And guys, that is an incredibly risky way to run a business. And that brings us to a massive mindset shift we have to make today. We absolutely have to ditch this unpredictable gut pricing and embrace the only number that matters when you're looking at an individual job: your target dollars per man hour actually earned. We've got to move away from the guesswork and start anchoring our prices to a concrete, data-driven target. Because when you obsess over the man hour, the profit basically takes care of itself. Just so we're all on the exact same page, let's establish what we mean by man hours, because this is the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about. It's the true labor time required to complete the job, calculated as the elapsed time or duration multiplied by your crew size. So if you've got two guys working on a property for exactly 1 hour, that is not 1 hour of labor cost. That's 2 man hours, right? Simple, but so easily overlooked. So let's put a real number to this. Imagine your target goal for your business is $80 per man hour. Now, obviously, you can pick whatever number makes sense for your local market, but for this explainer, $80 is our magic number. This number acts as your absolute floor. It tells you exactly what a job needs to bring in to even be worthwhile. If you dip below this $80, you are literally eating into your own profit margins. All right, so here is the golden formula. To figure out if a job is actually profitable, you just multiply your total man hours by your target rate, and boom, you get your suggested base price. Man hours times target equals the minimum price you should be charging. If you internalize this simple math, you instantly strip away all the confusion of pricing a property, no matter how big or small it is. Look at it this way. Let's say a solo operator is tackling a yard. The job takes exactly 45 minutes, which is 0.75 hours. Since it's just one person, a crew of one, that's 0.75 man hours. Multiply that by our $80 target, and the base price comes out to exactly $60. The operator charged $60, which means they hit that $80 hourly target right on the nose. This right here is what a perfectly priced, perfectly on-goal job looks like. But as we all know, real life in the field rarely stays this neat and tidy. Which brings us to Section 1. The third man problem, when faster costs you. Picture this real-world scenario. Last week, a two-man crew knocked out a property in exactly 1 hour. Perfect. That's 2.0 man hours. But this week, the owner wants to speed things up, so they throw a third guy onto the crew. They get the job done in just 45 minutes on the clock, which sounds great, right? Except maybe that third guy spent a few of those minutes just holding a rake or walking back to the truck. 3 people working for 45 minutes equals 2.25 man hours. You shaved 15 minutes off the clock, sure, but your total labor time actually increased. Now, let's look at the actual financial outcome of that. You charged $160 both times. With a two-man crew, your earned rate was a perfect $80 per man hour, right on target. But with the three-man crew, because your total man hours crept up to 2.25, your actual earned rate dropped to roughly $71 per man hour. You're suddenly well below target. Adding that extra person didn't make the job more profitable at all. It just diluted your hourly rate. And this totally exposes a massive trap in the industry. Adding a person might compress your elapsed time, but it absolutely does not guarantee an improved hourly rate. Finishing faster on the clock does not automatically mean your profit margin went up. It is so easy to fall into the trap of thinking speed equals money. But if you aren't strictly running that man-hour math, you could be scaling your crew size right out of profitability. All right, let's move into Section 2, finding your sweet spot for data-driven profits. When you actually start tracking your man hours consistently, these fascinating patterns just jump right out at you. You might discover that those short 10 to 15-minute tight stops are consistently yielding $110 per man hour, completely crushing your target goal. Meanwhile, your mid-sized properties are hovering right around the $80 mark, and those massive hour-plus stops, they might actually be dragging your average way down to $65 an hour. Once you see those numbers and know exactly which stop sizes are making you the most money, it's a total game changer. You can fundamentally rethink how you build your route. You stop taking every random job that calls your phone, and instead you focus exclusively on stocking those highly profitable, sweet spot properties. You maximize your overall hourly average simply by knowing what your optimal job profile actually looks like. So, Section 3, the verdict: automating the math at the truck. The good news is you don't need some heavyweight, clunky software suite or crazy spreadsheets to figure this out. Built specifically for solo operators and small crews, there's a mobile-first web app called MoRate that handles all of this math right from your phone. It works in 3 incredibly simple steps. First, you just time the job. Second, enter what you charged and your crew size. Third, you instantly see the verdict. The app instantly crunches your actual dollars per man-hour against your target and spits out one of 4 crystal-clear verdicts. If your price is higher than the base, you are beating goal. If it matches perfectly, you're on goal. If you fell short, it tells you straight up the price needs raised. And if you forgot to enter a detail, it says it needs details. Guesswork completely eliminated. Let's look at a really powerful way to use this. Say you've been targeting $75 an hour, and you finally decide it's time to bump your goal to $100 an hour. Instead of blindly raising everyone's price by a flat $20, which is definitely going to overcharge some people and undercharge others, the app's history tells you exactly how far each specific property is from that new number, so you can confidently raise each property by exactly what the math says it needs. It's also incredible for tracking operational changes. You can monitor the new hire gap, seeing exactly how a green employee's slower speed is impacting your bottom line man-hours. Or say you reorganized who does what on the crew, you can track the workflow shave. If you manage to shave 15 minutes off a stop with the exact same crew, the app proves the actual monetary value of that change right there in your job history. No spreadsheets required. Now, I absolutely love this point because of the sheer peace of mind it represents. Knowing if the job actually made sense as soon as it's done, not waiting until month end. Imagine sitting in your truck, you hit stop on the timer, and you know with absolute mathematical certainty whether you just won or lost on that property before you even shift the vehicle into drive. Listen, that is the ultimate takeaway here today. It is time to stop running your service business on gut feelings. By fully embracing the dollars per man-hour metric, you take total data-driven control over the hidden economics of your business. The math doesn't lie, it doesn't get tired, and it certainly doesn't have an ego. It just tells you exactly what your time is actually worth. So, I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought to chew on before you head out to your next job. If you strictly tracked your man-hour math starting right now today, how many of your clients are actually costing you money? Honestly, who is really paying who? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I highly encourage you to start running those numbers today.